How's it going, guys and geeks? Welcome to the Geekritique show. We're your hosts. I'm Jen.
I'm Dakota.
And for you Arrested Development fans, happy Cinco de Cuatro!
Okay. It is May 4th, so may the 4th be with you to you Star Wars fans, which is pretty much everyone else out there. Star Wars is over 40 years old. It's been around my entire life. It's been around way before I was born. It'll likely be around after I'm gone. And everyone has their own Star Wars story. And this is how we want to celebrate May the 4th today. We want to talk a little bit about our Star Wars stories, especially with Solo, a Star Wars story, coming in a few weeks. Whether you like what Lucasfilm is doing in their recent films or not, everyone has a moment in Star Wars fandom that they can look to as just a happy time in their life. And we want to ask you, what is your Star Wars story? Today we're going to share a few of ours. Obviously, we can't share all of our Star Wars stories because that would take forever, but this particular Star Wars story is very dear to my heart and your heart. So, why don't you start?
My Star Wars story is, growing up, my family wasn't super into Star Wars. The only interaction I had with Star Wars as a kid was my brother, I think for like his birthday or something, had been gifted a Darth Vader piggy bank. So, which I really liked it. It was really cool because he would like say stuff and like lift his lightsaber whenever you put, a coin in. And my favorite line that I would like put coins in specifically for was impressive. Most impressive.
Impressive. Most impressive.
I don't know why I loved that as a kid. So when I met Dakota and I explained to him, no, I've seen Star Wars in like group settings and stuff, but I'd never really watched it and like really got into it.
Not that she was opposed to it or that she didn't like it per se, but she just never had the opportunity to be exposed properly.
I had seen it it wasn't like a proper exposure pretty much. When he heard that, he was like, oh, well, yeah, we need to sort this out. So I soon, after we started dating, I met his family and they were like, you don't know Star Wars. Like, we need to fix this. So that was like kind of me getting to know Dakota better. That was me getting to know his family better. And it was actually really fun and like a really fond memory that I have with all of them. Like they have like Star Wars like cutouts for cookies. So I'd make like sugar cookies and pies and all kinds of stuff. And we'd like all sit around and watch Star Wars. And his dad was actually pretty great because I wasn't raised with like a lot of sci-fi fantasy stuff. A lot of like the smaller things would kind of go over my head. So like that's Dakota's dad, would like pause the movie like pretty constantly, like, did you get that? Did you get why that character like looked that way? Or did you get why he like moved his arm like that? Did you get this? Did you get that? But Dakota's mom has very little patience for movies being paused, like at all. And Mike talks a lot during movies, which she hates. And she would be like, oh, come on, Mike, play the movie.
So that was her getting to know my family. She didn't really know my family that well up until that point, but that was like a requirement for them. Like, if you're gonna be in a relationship with our son, you need to, at the very least, have seen and enjoy Star Wars.
And here we are today.
Here we are. That wasn't the only series that we watched at that point, but...
Yeah, they put me through the works. Like, I got the whole education. I should really be paying your parents for tuition.
Alright, so, my Star Wars story. I grew up with Star Wars. It was always in my life in one way or another. I think the first live-action movie, a VHS movie that I owned in particular, like my parents bought me, was Empire Strikes Back. And I grew up watching those early VHS films before they were remastered in the 90s. So I went to those screenings in the 90s, and that was always part of my childhood. But really, the core of my like collecting heart came from those early days when I would just constantly buy new, like the 3 3/4 inch action figures. I loved them. I loved them so much. At one point, I had over 100 Star Wars action figures. And it's a shame, but I lost most of them in a move in my childhood. So all those toys are gone, except for this. It is a Millennium Falcon, but it's not just any Millennium Falcon. It is how I was able to... It's a little dusty. Hold on.
Oh my god. You couldn't do that before we filmed.
No. I couldn't have. If you can see, the clasps have been so worn down that they no longer hold this shut together. But there's space in here for me to compartmentalize all of my toys.
Aww.
And I never had an R2-D2 that fit snugly in here, and that was always such a, like, that always bothered me. Like, this looks like it would be perfect for R2-D2. It never fit him. But little me would fly my characters around to different areas of the house or the yard, and I'd play with those action figures. But I was a weird kid too. Like, I wouldn't actually play with my action figures. I would line them up around a table. Like, they would all be in, like, single file line, and I would just, like, look at them. And sometimes I would, like, make them, like, from, like, tall to shortest. And
what the heck?
I was a weird kid. But then I would, like, you know, scoop them all up, bring them right back to my room and put them on my shelf, line them up. I love that.
He's, like, a big collector. Like, if anything he can collect and, like, that has, like, good craftsmanship or, like, a novelty that he likes, he goes nuts with it. So even just seeing all those little compartments, like, I know child you is, like, going nuts, like, organizing your characters.
Even this is, like, actually, like, surprisingly good craftsmanship. I mean, it's a piece of plastic, yes, but it actually really looks like the Millennium Falcon. Like, it's surprising.
A lot of details.
You can hold it like a little suitcase.
Oh, nice. We should hang it up over here.
Perhaps. This is just one of many Star Wars stories that we have. We've been to, like, fan meetups where, like, they released, like, the new toy lines for the new movies. Being a blogger and being, like, on YouTube, we talk about Star Wars all the time, so we're very close to the franchise. But I think everyone who has ever, like, watched a Star Wars movie, has ever gone to a premiere, has ever, like, spent time with their friends, enjoying or discussing Star Wars or playing with Star Wars action figures or collecting, you know, the old Topps cards, has that Star Wars story that they want to tell. And I want to hear those stories. This is a day, not to, like, be super crabby about what Disney's doing to Star Wars or what you want to see from Star Wars. I want to hear about good memories that you've had about Star Wars. So in the comment section down below, leave those thoughts. Or if you want to, you know, if you're a YouTuber, you want to create a video, just tag us on Twitter or Instagram with My Star Wars Story. We'd love that. We really would.
Yeah, it's definitely a day to look at everybody else's experience too. And so many of our friends too, like, you know, when you do talk about Star Wars, everybody does have, you know, a story. It's really cool. And it's cool that, you know, I was able to get into this. It's like a culture of its own, you know? So I'm really happy that I was introduced to it and that I get to know all of you really cool people through something so fun and so unique and interesting.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it and share it if you can. If not, just, you know, subscribe. You want to see more videos of the two of us. You want to.
You need to.
Again, we want to hear your stories. Please share them down below. What is your Star Wars story? Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.